Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Convo. Today we'll be discussing the comic and movie Batman: The Killing Joke. Batman with Batgirl?
Bat sex.
Bat sex? So we just saw. We did something interesting today because I haven't read The Killing Joke in a while, and I know you said you haven't read it in a while too.
Yeah.
So before we watched the movie, the new animated movie that just came out called The Killing Joke, we decided to read the comic and see how close the comic was to the movie itself. Now, our review is a little bit late. You know, a lot of people have already reviewed it, have already seen it, but it's like you said, it's kind of cool for us to take our time reviewing stuff because not only do we get to see the movie, but we get to see all the reviews, take everybody's input into effect when we're watching and we're doing our review. So it's kind of cool that we're able to see people's reviews and then match it with our reviews, which I think are better reviews now. I think ours are a little better, but you decided that. So we read it and then we saw the movie. So let's jump into it. What did you think of the comic?
I thought the comic was interesting. It's definitely it's real interesting the way the beginning you have like Batman at kind of like a crossroads with the Joker.
Yeah,
I thought that was real interesting. Like he's kind of trying to come like a truce, you know.
it's a truce. Yeah.
It's like he's throwing up his white flag. He's not really giving up. He's just like, listen, let's come to negotiations and stuff. Like, you're crazy. You think I'm crazy, and we're driving each other crazy, and it's just only gonna go one way with us. You know what I'm saying? See, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna kill me. I don't want you to kill me. I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
So let's just figure this out. You know.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting and stuff when it came to that.
I like that point of view, and I think that was the heart of the comic. It was really showing Batman at the core of Batman, which is like he wants to help. Even though these villains are bad, at the core of him, he just feels an obligation to rehabilitate them. And he really wants to give the villains the chance to turn their leaf over or not just kill them because it would be easy for him to kill them. You know, it would be easy for him to kill the Joker. He even said it's like, look, this is going to come to a point where maybe I kill you or you kill me, and I don't want it to come to that point. And I think it's that pivotal moment in Batman's history where he's like, well, what happens if Joker even takes me to that point? What would I do in that situation? What would a person do in that situation? And that's what I loved about this comic. I felt like it showed the difference between a villain's outcome and a hero's outcome, or what should be a hero's outcome. Like in the Joker story, whenever they flash back to it, it was like this guy who was just trying to be a comedian. He's trying to do whatever it takes to like provide for his wife and unborn child, but at the midst of it is like just this guy that's just like reaching for anything. Like we don't really know what his past is before that time and that we're watching, but we know he's like a guy that's just like he thinks of himself as a loser. You know, he's doing all this stuff, and then once his wife dies and once all that happens, then he just clicks into madness. He's like, all right, I'm gonna be crazy from now on. Where the Batman character, which is more of the hero story arc, is like he loses his parents, he becomes Batman, he sees all this crime first eye, you know, bird's eye view is like he's seeing it. He's seen all these super villains, all these crazy people that he's putting back in jail, coming back out. But rather than go into that easy madness that the Joker went into, he's still holding strong to, no, I can't be like that. I have to be better. I have to be the reason why, you know, I'm able to protect people. And that's what I liked about The Killing Joke. As far as the comic, I think that was the strongest part of the thing. What else?
I like the fact that, and also the reason why he was trying to help him out. What's the difference between Batman's villains and like Superman's or anybody else's villains?
They're all criminally insane.
Exactly.
They're all the criminally
they're all insane. I mean, they're all in Arkham. Like, what is Arkham? Like, people get that confused sometimes. Like, it's a prison, whatnot. It's a mental institution, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the criminally insane. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just meant for criminal people who did crazy shit as criminals. So they had one place for them, which was Arkham.
Yeah.
Which also makes sense why people also escape a lot of stuff too. Yeah. It's not like a max penitentiary.
Which
However,
it should be, but you know they're crazy.
They put them there, and Also, I believe that the reason why they also always end up over there too is probably because Batman's recommendation. Listen, Harvey Dent. I mean, one of the first things they show him in the film and whatnot, they show him like scraping at like the wall with his fingernails and stuff, and these are all he has like all like insane criminals. Like you know, like none of his no superhero I've ever seen has like this like ensemble of craziness
of chaotic.
Yeah, I mean it's like, you know, this is his crazy world. You know, if you got like Green Lantern in that world, you know, Sinestro, he's not crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's not crazy. Like, he's doing bad things. You know what I'm saying? He's power hungry and stuff.
Yeah.
Joker's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Two-Face is crazy. You know, like Clayface, Scarecrow,
Poison Ivy,
you know?
Scarecrow, Penguin.
Yeah, like
they're all, there's something missing from their minds.
Yeah, something's happened to them in their past. And a lot of times we don't really know for sure why.
Yeah.
And stuff. This is like the first time we've seen like a villain, like where like one of Batman's villains, where like, and it's always the big question mark. It's like, what makes the Joker the Joker?
Who is the Joker?
And
that was the other thing too. It's like, who is the Joker?
And man, Batman asked that question. He's like, I don't really know him, and it's hard to figure out what his next move is gonna be. It's like after all this time of me fighting him and fighting me, I don't know him, and he doesn't know me either. Yeah. So it's like, you know, we don't know each other, and that bothered him. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, cause some other villains, like, he could figure them out to a certain extent. This is his craziest villain, you know, which is different than Ra's al Ghul, because Ra's al Ghul technically he's not crazy, but then again he goes to that Lazarus pit. What does he become? Crazy. But however, he's like really the only villain who's never really in Arkham. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not really crazy, and it's also that, and it's hard to keep him with you know what I'm saying, with the League of Shadows and stuff. And
but I feel like him and Sinestro have that same mentality, where it's like, we know better. We know what's better for whatever, the world, the whatever, and so that's their type of crazy. It's like, no, I just want to take over the world because I know what's better for the world. I mean, I thought the drawing was pretty cool for the, you know, I know this was a classic comic book because of that, you know, the drawing, the story, the dialogue. It was interesting to see the Joker's sort of backstory. Like, we don't know his name, we don't know, like, but it's interesting to see the Red Hood, you know, they're talking about the Red Hood, and to just see, like, the transformation from who he was to who he is, and the of course the pivotal line where he's just like, you're just one bad day. Oh no, I'm sorry, oops, that's from another place, but it's sort of the similar thing where he's just like, all it takes is a bad day for you to lose everything and become like crazy. Which is funny because in the Netflix Punisher says to Daredevil, he's like, you're just one bad day away from me. You know, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, when you have a really shitty day, it could change, you know, a person's or a character's life.
Which came to the idea of the Killing Joke for him and stuff. You know? It's like, well, let's see what happens. I'm gonna take a friend of yours that has been working with you to always capture me and everybody else and stuff, to show you that what at the end of the day, if anybody has a bad day. Because that's what he believed Batman is, because Batman. He says, listen, I believe you are and who you are because you had a bad day. And I know for a fact I became what I am because I had a bad day. And it is true in both their cases. Because, you know, Batman's a little crazy too. Like, no one really wants to admit that and stuff, you know. But, you know, it does take a certain amount of insanity to do what he does. Because he's like, well, who dresses up as a flying rat to go out there and like night. And mess with me like crazy people, you know? Like, only a crazy person would do that.
And then keep them alive, you know, keep them alive and wanting to believe that much. Because that is sort of a crazy to be like, I will never kill you because I want the justice system to work so bad. I will never kill these villains, no matter what they do. Even in this comic book, he was like, if I get Jim Gordon to look at his daughter hurt, paralyzed, naked, you know, all this, Jim Gordon's going to want to kill me. And he still didn't want to kill the Joker. He's like, nope, I still believe in the system. Same thing with Batman. He's like, I'm going to fuck up Jim Gordon, make him crazy. I'm going to fuck up Batgirl, make her paralyzed, and you're going to want to kill me so bad. And even then, Batman's like, nope. I don't want to kill you. I'm still not. I believe in the system. So they have to be, in their mind, some sort of crazy as well. It was crazy. I mean, it was interesting to see in this story. And again, I mean, I know that the Killing Joke, and you even saying it was in issues when it first came out. So there's still a backstory of Batgirl becoming Batgirl, her knowing Bruce as Batman, and then her quitting being Batgirl, which led up to this part with the Killing Joke comic, because when Batman goes to see her in the room, the first thing that she says to him is Bruce. She calls him Bruce. She doesn't call him Batman. He's in the Batman cowl. So it was interesting to see her not being Batgirl, her getting shot, and then being afraid and like telling Bruce like, please, you know, go get him. So
yeah, which is also different with the movie show. That was one of the slight differences.
So let's get into the movie. Yeah, let's get into that, because I feel like, you know, I thought the comic was good. I thought it had a good message. I feel like that's a message that people need to understand about Batman, especially when they're making these comic book movies where they're just having Batman just like kill random people, or Batman wanted, or people wanting Batman to just be like, so what? He killed somebody. Good. He should have done that. It's like, no, but this shows you why he needs to have that, because that is who he is. That is just like you said, everybody's crazy. He is like, Joker has a crazy, you know, Two-Face has a crazy. Batman's crazy is that he will never kill. He will never kill because he believes so much in the system, because he had to.
Well, also killing also created him as Batman. Like, for him to like do that would be an oxymoron. Like I became Batman to stop killing.
Yeah.
You know, to do what? To kill? Like, that really wouldn't make sense. It'd be an oxymoron. You know, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention going back to like the whole killing, non-killing thing and stuff. You know, one of the reasons why he doesn't kill too. I remember when he discovered that one of the inmates in there wasn't a Joker. You know, like he discovered, it wasn't a Joker. It was, like he discovered with the face paint and whatnot. Like, okay, it's not you. And he was about to rough him up.
Yeah.
And then Gordon was like, you can't be doing that. You know the rules better than anybody else and stuff.
Yeah.
And it reminded me that the reason why also Batman doesn't kill too, because he has a relationship with Commissioner Gordon. And the relationship with the police, and the police only really tolerates Batman as well as they do, is because he's really, yes, he is operating outside the law, but he's also working within the law.
Yeah.
And the way he does that is by their rule. Like civilians just can't go around killing people. Mm-hmm. The minute he does that, they would have to just cut all ties with him.
I bet you they think of him as like a glorified citizen's arrest. Like, as long as he arrests them, it's like, well, he's doing a citizen's arrest. He hasn't killed them. He's arresting people.
I mean, look, so there's an MMA fighter in Seattle right now, Phoenix Jones. He goes out there and he fights crime, you know, uses MMA skills and fights crime. Now, he doesn't do it to the level Batman does. Like, no one can do that, no one does and stuff.
You need a lot of money. You need Bill Gates money for that.
Yeah, I mean, it took him many years to become what he is and stuff, and we all know like about that backstory.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting and stuff. But that's one of the reasons why he doesn't do what he does, because it's like he can't really, even if he really wanted to kill it's like the minute he does that, it's gonna put him at odds end with the cops, with Gordon and stuff. Now he can't really fight crime because now he's too busy fighting the police.
Yep.
Now he's too busy fighting them.
Yep.
So it really wouldn't make sense for him to go out there and do that. So I feel like it's also like not only does he really believe in that, like not only should I not kill because that will make me no better than the criminals I'm trying to stop.
Yeah.
But also it would also ruin his relationship with Gordon and the cops, saying with the Gotham PD.
Yep.
And he needs that. And then that's a big part of Batman. That's one thing when people don't ever realize about Batman. Yeah, he's got the gadgets, he's got the cars, he's got the skills. You know what I'm saying? He got the knowledge. But the other thing too is his connections.
Right.
Like, he's really nothing without his connections. Even they showed a brief thing with him talking to Alfred about his relationship with the Joker and stuff. And Alfred was like, letting him know some stuff and whatnot. It's always his connections is what makes Batman Batman. Which is why what happened to Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, hit him and affect him so much and stuff,
Well, yeah, let's get into that. So, so it's funny. We're watching it, and it's just like we had known, and again, because we're doing the review late, most of the complaints from the people that didn't like even people who overall people liked the movie, they just didn't like the first 30 minutes. So I was I was wondering why. Like, what about the 30 minutes can be so?
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
Affected by that.
I mean, think about the movie's exactly what the comic book was, panel for
panel, yeah.
With
dialogue, and the dialogue was exactly from the comic.
With the exception of a few things, like her calling him Batman instead of calling him Bruce and stuff. And there was another thing too when the Joker is getting talked to. before he's the Joker technically in the flashback scenario.
Oh, his wife.
When he's talking to like the cops and stuff, and they're telling him about his wife died. They show like from the gangster's point of view, they're just watching him talk to the cops, and they're curious to give him this look like you better not speak or you better not steal pigeon on us and stuff. But it's but I didn't.
But can we talk about
it.
that little point real quick? There's something I was gonna tell you while we're watching this. I was like, this kind of seems shoehorned in that his wife just died from a baby bottle thing, like out of nowhere. It was just like, by the way, your wife is dead, and he's just there like, oh, what am I gonna do? I gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, wait a minute. The whole point of you doing this was for your wife. Your wife's dead, and you're not like, I don't know. I just, even in the comic, I felt like that was shoehorned in. I didn't really, well, I felt like, okay, yeah, she needed to die, but I wish it was more of like, she died, he's seen her died, and then the guys came to him and like, look, you still got to do this job. Like, it just felt, the execution just felt like, yeah, by the way, your wife died. All right, bye, see you later. It's just like,
here's my take on that. I believe, and I don't know if they'll ever do this, I don't think they even told the full story to the Joker. Mind you, this is the Joker's interpretation of what he sees. And even he said it himself.
Sometimes I change it to
sometimes,
have a multiple choice.
So maybe he killed his wife and the baby. We don't know this. You know, because he did kind of deal with it kind of well. Like, they like gave him like a, you don't have a choice kind of thing. But listen, when you're distraught, you're like, motherfucker, kill me.
Kill me.
You know what I'm saying? Kill me. Because the only reason I was doing this in the first place was for them and stuff. So kill me. Like it really wouldn't matter. It doesn't mean anything to me at this point. You know, everything that mattered to me is now dead. Yeah. He kind of took it a little too well. Like, he was a little like kind of depressed and saddened by the situation. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is and stuff. You know, like, he really didn't. I don't know, like, I felt like... But then again, it's the Joker we're talking about. So, true. Before he becomes a Joker, there had to be something messed up with him. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's like, you know, people could look at the Bad Chemicals was doing this. People could look at, like, okay, these tragic events. But we don't know exactly what it is. And I think back to the Dark Knight movie and stuff. He's giving multiple scenarios on what made him what he was, you know? His father, his wife. And at the end of the day, you left with, like... We don't know what's left of truth. All this could be the truth. All this could be a combination of the truth. True. Yeah, we don't know what made this man what he is. I mean, at the end of the day, he could just be, you know, fucked in the head just because he wasn't a good stand-up comic. I mean, it could be just that something like that simple.
It could be that simple.
I mean, how do you explain crazy? You know, like true. I mean, how do you do that?
Especially that form of crazy where he's literally that crazy. But yeah. So going back to the first 30 minutes. So the first 30 minutes. Definitely something different. At first, I liked where it was going. I thought it was a cool intro to Batgirl. Batgirl fighting crimes, fighting the criminals with Batman's help. I liked how, you know, how brash she was. How, like, just, you know, she's like, you know, I'm in it. I want to fight. You know, I'm very cocky.
Yeah, she's very in your face with that.
And I like the dynamic because you always had Batman. He always thinks he knows best because, you know, he does knows best. And he treats his sidekicks as such. You know, it could be Barbara, it could be Dick, it could be Tim, it could be whoever. He always puts them at an edge where it's just like, okay, I got it from here. I don't need you tonight, or follow my rules, follow my leads. And, you know, I like that part. But then it started to shift into, like, she likes Batman and she doesn't know how to feel about that.
So it was like they were trying to establish this love-hate relationship.
Which was weird. Yeah. The whole, like, Paris, France. I don't know who came up with that name for a villain, or Paris, France.
France, yeah.
Yeah, it was like France, yeah, whatever it was like his whole thing was kind of weird. Like, he likes her, but he also wants to be the king of the mob bosses, so he doesn't like his uncle. Like, there was something there.
Then they were trying to create a villain to say that he's on par with the Joker, saying he's that kind of crazy. Yeah. It's like, you really?
Like, even Batman saying that, I was like, do you really believe that, Batman? Because I don't think you believe that's how powerful or crazy this guy is.
He's your average Doug. Like, this is a Tuesday for you.
He's a bratty nephew. Like, his uncle gave him power. He has power. He's sleeping with all these girls. He has money. More power. He wants more. I didn't see anything other than a normal mafioso thing, but they were trying to amp him up just because of the fact that he was, like, objectifying Batgirl. Like, he was looking at her and was like, ooh, I want to get with Batgirl. Ooh, I want to do some things with her. So it was like they amped this guy's street cred to like, ooh, this guy's crazy. I don't want you on this case. Batman's like, whoa, 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 and then it became this whole thing of like he was getting jealous, and then the big, which is they're fighting on the rooftop, and all of a sudden they start making out, and then she's like taking off her shirt and Batman's grabbing her ass, and they have sex, and I'm like. I remember we were watching. We looked at each other like, "What is going on right now? What
shit was like out of left field? Like it was just way out. Like I'm like, what the fuck? Not to mention,
isn't that Dick's girl, man?
Dick Grayson.
Where's Dick in all this?
Do that to him?
Where's Dick in all? Where's Robin in all this? Like, it was so weird. It was so weird, and it felt so out of place because then like, Batman didn't call her back, and it was like, is this like a relationship movie?
Yeah, I mean, even the whole it's weird when she was like, what should I do? Like, oh, what are you doing and stuff. It's like, what do you mean what I'm doing? Like,
yeah. And she distracted him. He's on the dock side. Look, I'll call you back. Like, oh shit! And then it's like the rocket launcher comes.
Like Batman got distracted. That's crazy.
But then what really took me out of it was the fact that. So they needed a moment where Batman sets it up where he's like, you're not ready. You haven't been to the darkness where you think you're going to lose yourself and you have to make sure you're ready for that. And then she goes, saves him at the docks, and she's punching him. And she's like, you messed up everything. You messed up everything. She's like at the point of killing this guy. And I'm like, what did he mess up?
Yeah, I'm confused. Yeah,
he didn't mess up anything. And he killed the main crime boss. And the only thing he did was just pass, say like, hey, I like you type of things, but he really didn't do anything.
Is she talking about the relationship with Batman? I'm confused and stuff, because anything this would have brought them together. I mean, I'm confused at that. You ruined everything. And I was trying to really,
yeah, I was
I was like sitting stupid with that one for a while. I'm like, ruin everything. Like, ruin what though? Like the relationship with you and Batman? Because anything he helped you out to get with him, because he just pushed that closer to you guys getting together with that, which was very kind of forced and stuff in the first place, the way they written that in there. But I was just
and then on top of that, she quit being Batgirl after that. She was like, yeah, I don't want to be Batgirl anymore. I don't want to. She's like, I've been to the abyss now, like you talked about, and I don't want to be there anymore. I'm like, what abyss? What really? This was the tipping point for you that you're like, I'm done being Batgirl. It was really weird. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to read the comic of the issue that actually makes her stop being Batgirl. So I would like to see what actually stopped her from being Batgirl. But I felt like this version that they wrote, because they said that they wrote this specifically just for the film, I felt like it was so weird. It's like, on the one hand, you have Batgirl being a badass, but on the other hand, you still objectified her. Like, she just became like Batman's love interest, or this weird girl was like talking to her.
They were trying to hit on all
talking
those
to
things.
Her very shoehorned in gay best friend or whatever, gay employee, where it was just like over the top gay and just like shoehorned them in there. It was just like, even this feels out of place.
Yeah,
like,
they just just went ahead and tried to hit every kind of theme and stuff.
Feminism, equal opportunity, gay rights, is like everything. And look, I'm all for all that, but it just felt so shoehorned in the first 30 minutes. I was like, you had something there. There was something there in that story. It was just way too crazy.
They try to create his character to explain her relationship with Batman and stuff. She needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
So they figured, okay, she could have had like a girlfriend or whatever to do this with and whatnot, but they did it with him because I guess he had the guy's perspective. I guess he was like, well, guys or whatever. But it's like, didn't make sense that she would even talk to anybody about this, because there literally is no one you could talk to about Batman being Batman. I mean, like that's it's next level type shit. That's like a next level type conversation you cannot have. I mean, like, it's stupid.
And the funny thing is, the payoff was supposed to be like, okay, the first 30 minutes is Batman's trying to protect Barbara because he doesn't want her to get hurt, right? And then fast forward to Joker comes and literally paralyzes her, and he couldn't protect her, and that never paid off. It's like the 30 minutes that you did where it was Batman trying to protect her, that scene where she's hugging him and she's like, Batman or whatever, is like, there should have been more emotional stakes on Batman because of what happened 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's like the dude slept with her, she stopped being Barbara, there's all this other stuff that happened that it didn't pay off. So I felt like, okay, did we really need those 30 minutes? Because it really didn't add anything to the story once the story actually started to take off. So yeah, that was for me. That was the biggest thing where I was just like, we really didn't need the 30 minutes, or if they did want to keep the 30 minutes, it should have been a different story. I thought the rest of the movie was good. What do you think? I thought it was panel for panel the same.
I mean, it was. I mean, they really, like I said, with the exception of a couple shots that we talked about.
Yeah.
There was no differences. I even kind of like the ending when they went ahead and show what the outcome of what she's gonna become. Oracle.
Yeah.
You know, when she's gonna be going out there and doing her thing with that, using all her computer science to help out and against with the Caped Crusaders and stuff. So I thought that was pretty good. Like, I was unexpected because we were watching the credits a little bit. We were discussing it, and all of a sudden, like,
it was like a mid-credit scene. I was like, wait, is this Marvel now? They're doing mid-credit scenes in DC animated, which is pretty unexpected. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, so I thought that, and I actually always liked her character better as Oracle than as Batgirl. So I liked the new Cassandra Cain.
And the movie played out the same story as the comic, so I liked the themes still stayed the same, and of course the voice acting was, you had Mark Hamill and.
The only one was different was Jim Gordon.
Jim Gordon, yeah.
He's really the only one that I saw was different. Yeah, he was the only one was different, but
And there were moments that felt like even the acting was a little bit too I don't want to say hammy, but I felt like it was a little over the top at some points. I don't know if it was just me, but there was like certain points where I was like, I feel like this is going too dramatic. Like they're just saying dramatic things or saying the words without actually like moving forward the scene. Like when I watch an animated cartoon, like or I see the Batman the animated series, or even other DC movies, like I felt like the dialogue felt a little more natural, where in certain parts in this movie it felt like a little forced. Like, you ever seen the da 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 da, and it just took me out of it for a little bit. Not the whole movie, but just little parts here and there. I was just like, oh, okay, that's an interesting way of saying those lines. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was good. It had its moments. The Joker, obviously, who's the star of this whole movie. Yeah. I mean, when you have Mark Hamill doing the role, you can't miss with the original Joker. Like, every line he said, I was like, oh, that's funny. Even we were laughing at certain parts where it was just like, yeah, that's Joker. Like,
and I also like the fact when we take and put the comic book and put it to the animated version.
Yeah.
You could see, like, the look in his eyes, like she was saying. Like, you didn't see the look in his eyes. I saw the look in his eyes. I was like, this dude's fucking crazy. You know? I like that. Also, I liked some of the adage they put in there with the action. I'm not talking about the first 30 minutes. I'm talking about, like, with that fight scene with him and the Joker at the end. Because in the comic books, it was just really him and the Joker.
In the House of Mirrors.
Yeah. But over here, they were showing him fight the freak show circus people and stuff. And I was like, I was thinking about that in the comic. I was like, where's those henchmen about being up on Jim Gordon? Like, why they're not there helping out the Joker? Because
true.
Really, the Joker is really like, they're always a big part of what makes the Joker always escape, or also make him like a match. Because Joker sending out a physical match to Batman and stuff, that's where these henchmen would come in. So I like the fact they utilized that in the anime version. I thought that was good.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. And it, like you said, it actually gave some more action to show Batman doing that stuff. I thought the action throughout the whole movie was good. Like, even when Batgirl was fighting, when Batman was fighting,
really good,
like all the action was on point. I mean, it just goes to show you, like, you could take the panels, you could maybe change a little bit, again, minus the 30 minutes, they tweaked little stuff here and there, but they stayed within the panels. And the good thing is that they didn't try to, like, even though they went shot for shot panel, there was still something that they added to it. They weren't like just being like, okay, here's a pretty shot and just that's it, like a Zack Snyder type of.
I like it when they go ahead and they show these kind of shots and stuff, and they tell it from the way the comic book is. Listen, like I always say this: if the comic book was successful, the movie would be successful too. Just as long as you don't miss with that. And I felt like with this, they didn't mess with it for those first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I can see a disconnect from people, like scratching their heads. Cause I was kind of scratching my head for a while too. Then I started seeing them going to the Killing Joke storyline and stuff, and I was like, okay,
oh, now it's starting.
Yeah. I tried to just tune that out as much as I could, and I was like, I'll just bring it up when we start doing this, but. I thought it was real cool and stuff. The
animation was cool too. It felt a little different, like it's a different style that I'm used to.
Well, it felt like the classic Batman to me. Like when they're doing the series and stuff, and whenever they did the movies, like the Phantasm, and the Sub-Zero movie.
Yeah,
I like that and stuff. I like the I like that classic
Batman.
Batman.
That's what it is. Yeah.
you know, they had that from the series and stuff, which I love, you know. So I like the fact they did another throwback to that.
Yeah. So overall, what would you give? I guess the movie and the comic, if we want to rate them separately.
All right. So the comic,
yeah,
I would give it. I would say I liked it. It wasn't my favorite Batman like storyline.
Graphic novel, yeah.
But I would give the comic maybe a 7.5.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And as far as the movie, I had to give it just a little bit less because they had those first, like the beginning. I wouldn't say the first 30 minutes. 'Cause I like the beginning of the first 30 minutes, like first 10, 15.
There's like a 15-minute gap.
That end like really had me scratching my head and like this is how you gotta try to establish like a relationship between them. Should have been just being like a mentor, you know what I'm saying, like kind of a relationship, but student teacher relationship.
Yeah.
So I take it off some points. I'm gonna take off like a point. That's gonna be a 6 or 6.5. I would probably say.
Yeah, I'd say same for me. I'd say about 7 for the. And I thought Killing Joke. Look, I know it's a classic for a reason. You know, you know, learn more about Joker. You learn more about Batman and why Batman is Batman and why he doesn't kill people. So I gotta give it. You know, the minimum is a 7. Is it something I want to read over and over? Maybe every once in a while. So maybe that's why I'm gearing it more towards a 7 because there are. You know, at least just for me, my personal favorites is like Hush, which we'll talk about later. Like that's something I could read every year and just keep reading and be like, wow, this is like, oof. So that's why I give it a 7 as well. And the same thing for the, I'd have to go 6 because it's just those 15 minutes really were like, it was really bad. Like I was just like, this took me out of it. And it wasn't until like, I would say the first 10 minutes of actually being the Killing Joke where I'm like, oh, okay, now we're back into it. Now we're getting into all that stuff. And like I said, there were little hiccups for me, acting choices wise. Maybe even some of the animation fell a little off. But I'd give it a 6. I maybe 6.5 if I want to. I say 6. I give it a 6.
6. I mean,
it's one of those things. Is like it's really because of those things. It has nothing really to do because obviously, if we're saying 7 for the comic book and 6 for the movie. There's that loss in translation from comic to movie. So that's the reason why I'm rating it lower. Because had it just been the Killing Joke and they just didn't talk about Barbara Gordon or her sleeping with Batman, it would have been the same. It would have been like 7 or maybe even 7.5.
I mean, the one I would like them to do a movie about is the Hush one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I mean,
God.
that right there, that's a 10 film. If you do it exactly the way it is. I mean, when they did that stupid Superman versus Batman film, you should have just did Hush because if you want to make a Batman film, just do Hush. And it has Superman in it. So,
but we'll get into that. We'll get into that later because I can't wait to review that.
It does kind of suck. It's like our first DC animated review. That I was like,
that's low.
I would like we
love DC animated. Like DC animated is one of my favorite. I love it more than the Marvel animated stuff that they come out.
Yeah, Marvel can't do it.
Their stuff is always their solo Marvel things. No.
So I was actually like a little disappointed for that sense and stuff.
Yeah.
So like I was like, man, I've all the ones and stuff. Like I wish like they was doing like other stuff like Under the Red Hood or like some of the other storylines they had, Public Enemies and stuff. And
mind you, this is the first R-rated Warner Brothers Batman movie.
I do like the fact that they didn't abuse that. Like there was like some blood, there was some cursing, but some people like whenever they get that R rating, they just really abuse
Barbara Gordon showing some titties.
Yeah, like just full on like
bloods and guts,
sex scene and shit.
Like or that they could have easily went with that.
And I really thought they were gonna go there for a second. I was like, okay.
When she showed her chest, I was like, are they gonna go there right now? They didn't go there, so. They used the R rating just for the blood and the violence.
It wasn't like that much cursing and stuff. Like it was just a decent amount,
But I just hope, because, like I was telling you before, Jeff Johns, who was in charge of part of DC Animated, is now part of the DC cinematic thing. I don't know who produced this. I saw Bruce Timm produce this one, but I hope that moving forward they stick to the producers they had before because I feel like it just feels different. Like these last couple of DC films, it felt like they were moving away from what was working 100% when they were coming out with all these, Flashpoint Paradox is great.
Because they were basing off the actual comic books, and now they're I noticed when one of them fails, it's because they start straying away. And those first 30 minutes had nothing to do with whatever happened in any comic book. Like they made a complete different storyline to explain their relationship. If they would have did that, like I said, it would have definitely had the 7.5.
Yeah. DC animated, you don't need to do that. Just go back to what you're doing before. You were great before. Don't need to change it. Just keep whatever you were doing before moving forward. Especially if you're gonna do Hush, please take the same group that did those other ones, because it deserves that type of team.
I'm still surprised they haven't done that yet. And I'm like,
but we'll see. So yeah, so that's our review for Batman: The Killing Joke. Go check it out. It's available on DVD now. And the comic has always been available because it's been out for a while. So definitely check it out and let us know what you think. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you thought about the movie. If we missed anything, and definitely subscribe, like, share, and you can follow us on Twitter at @combo_convo. And as always, we want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.